In the Forbidden Mountains in the land of the great river sources in Burma, everything is being readied to welcome the coming of a new chief. This is taking place in Nagaland, a forgotten nation couched between India and Burma. The Naga historian Vizier Sanyu, exiled to Australia, has now returned to Nagaland to be once again with the people of the great river sources. We join him in his native village of Konoma, perched as are all Naga villages, on a mountain promontory overlooking an enclosed valley.
This is our village gate.
This is the village gate, huh?
Konoma is the tribal center for Angami people, one of 35 Naga tribes whose territory finds itself, following colonization, divided between India and Burma. A tribal nation of nearly 3 million people plunged into a fratricidal war that has gone on for half a century. The whole Vizier family lives here in Konoma, a village he had to leave a dozen years ago to find refuge in Australia.
That terrace, rice terrace field, was given to me by my father. We have owned that field for some 14 generations. 1879.
1879.
Yes.
So killed by Konoma warriors.
Yes, the British invaded our village in 1879 under the command of General Nation, and we strongly defended our village.
Konoma became a martyred community, a target for the British Army, then regularly attacked by the Indian Army, and remains today under strict surveillance of the Indian security services. Vizier's father was often put in prison and tortured on many occasions. He was the Konoma chief, and at the slightest disturbance, he was the one that they came for.
My father's great.
Konoma is also the native village of Fizo, historic chief of the independence movement. He is considered the father of the Naga nation. In the 50s, just after independence from India and Nagaland's occupation by Nehru's troops, he founded the NNC, the Naga National Council, that would fight unceasingly for Nagaland sovereignty. Vizier is taking us to the home of one of his cousins, a nephew of President Fizo.
Every now and again, to be parted from the ones you adore, to set out a table for two or alone, take a look at the world.
They here earn the how high Tessa Kinaka put on this in you have British may have war, that's a British method to her shot. The sense that dinner halabor, the high habasla, K here no how high here not Tessa Bishop, K was here got Kashilis on it. We hear no Zawa, Tessa carry hope, get wet, potion of those Hekamersus, Bell.
Satisfied with all I have, a faithful friend. And Lord, I am
Det var de hyppenguashu chinunu tada de India med på paisa var det herna på Bali de en hata de lishu zanula var de la var de jerna
Fizeau directed the independence movement from England, where he had been exiled since the 50s. Today he reposes in his mausoleum at Kohima, the present capital of the Indian state of Nagaland. The land of the Naga stretches from one end to the other along the border between India and Burma. It's a forbidden zone, the setting for autonomous movements and warring factions for more than 50 years. In its Indian portion, the Naga territory extends to the entire province of Nagaland and is also divided among the states of Assam, Manipur, and Arunachal Pradesh. In Burma, it reaches the mountains dominating the valley and river Chinwin. We accompany Vizier in an attempt to reach the land of the great river sources on the other side of the border in Burma. Chapwan Hemi is one of the main chiefs of the Naga National Council, the NNC, and he accompanies us as well. A dozen years ago, Vizier Sanyu accompanied a group of NNC guerrillas to Naga territory in Burma. In these remote mountains, he created a friendly link with the Kamanungan, the tribe of the great river sources. The chief made Vizier promise to come back to be enthroned as chief during the grand ceremony of Liamke. It is to honor this promise after several fruitless attempts that today we are trying to enter Burma clandestinely. From Kohima, we try to reach the border zone as discreetly and quickly as we can. Many toll gates are dotted along the route. Every region that we cross is under the control of some rival faction, often an extremist group like those of the war chief Kaplang or the Maoist IM Isak and Mueva. Approaching the border region, the paths immediately become impassable. We have to abandon the vehicle and continue on foot. Chapwan Hemi remains one of the last chiefs of the historic NNC movement. The other leaders were assassinated, one after another, and he is in danger of facing the same fate at every moment, at every turn in the path.
Nearby, then bear attacked me. At that time I was alone, so I thought that I may be die. This skin from my head pulled down like that, and my eye pulled down. This cheekbone broken. I thought that I may be faint because of bleeding and I may die. But by thinking my heart was okay, so I started to go to a village. 3 hours I think to reach the village.
Chapwan always hides his face behind dark glasses.
Hello again. Good day.
Vizier and I have been friends for over 20 years. We met in 1987 during my first secret visit in Mont Naga. Ken, a member of the Anako team, goes with us. After leaving the last Naga village on the Indian side, our little column undertakes an endless progression to arrive at the line where the water divides at the summits of the Patkai Mountains. It's a laborious march with the never-ending rain, the mud, stumbling over roots, slipping on wet rocks.
If you sleep like this, like this,
You can stay 5, 6.
1, 2.
There's another place there, over there. So.
It's on the mountain slope that we find a cave where we can spend the night. We have to leave at dawn if we hope to be at the Burmese border before nightfall. Vizier has sprained a muscle, and every step is almost unbearable. It's at 3,500 meters altitude in a glacial cold imprisoned by the persistent fog with night already upon us that we attain the line where Burma's waters divide. We spend the night in this refuge open to the wind. In spite of the fire, we're chilled to the bone.
So, Sangwan, how many time more walking down now?
We will take 2 hours.
2 hours?
Yeah, to go down.
To go down to the
Yeah.
valley?
Yeah, from the river to village, we will take another 1.5 hours.
Vizier, how is your leg?
My leg is hurting.
Hurting a lot
Yes,
from yesterday. You think it will be okay for going down?
I will try. I will try my best. Yesterday was very hard.
On the other side, it's almost a sudden descent down to the high Burmese valleys. We enter the land of the people of the great river sources, the ferocious Naga, still today reputed as feared headhunters. Our endless march goes on, faces are tense. There's the ever-present danger of running into some unfriendly bunch.
From here, we can see Chindun River also.
Chinwin River?
But because of this cloudy, we cannot see the Chindun River.
All the Kemyungan territory is between these valleys?
Oh yes, all these are Kemyungan territories.
So we are definitely in Burma now.
Yeah.
The nearest village, Kanungen, isn't very far now. Several young people have come to meet us, and at the riverbank they've prepared an excellent meal. A momentary pleasurable pause after a day of grueling march.
Now you are in Burma.
We are in Burma now.
Oh, how can it be Burma? It is Nagaland, not Burma.
It's not Burma, it's Nagaland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you are thinking that you are Nagaland, considering this boundary, imaginary boundary line, artificial boundary line.
Yeah.
It is we do not recognize it.
2 hours later, we stand before a bamboo gate, the outer limits of Tingyungan village, our first Naga village in Burma. Some men are waiting for us. The spear given to Vizier symbolizes a welcome, protection, and virility. Women are forbidden to touch the spear, and the man always keeps it close to affront any eventual attack. It's also used in hunting and is always present for Naga dances. The whole village is waiting for us, the children with their hands extended. We sense both the astonishment and the joy they feel at seeing these strangers appearing from nowhere. Yes, there have been many changes. Corrugated metal roofs have begun to appear. Traditional clothing has practically disappeared, and warrior rites that used to accompany the welcoming of visitors are no longer practiced.
I am from free Naga people.
Yeah.
That British leave us as free Nagas, or they say an administrative area, they call our area, and Ansawe area. We are never ruled by British. But after British left, these people claim that our territory as a part of Myanmar or as this India. That is the starting point of problem, the starting point of conflict. We have to defend our country. So that we started to fight with them.
At the beginning of this century, Baptist churches were spread out everywhere. Naga pastors had no hesitation in illegally crossing the border to evangelize in the most remote villages inside Burma.
The missionaries from America, they stationed in different locations, but evangelization of the people was done more or less by our own people. When they learned, when they accepted the gospel, they had the zeal to pass on that message to other fellow friends. And so most of the evangelization of Nagas were done by our own people, not by missionaries. Like the Sumis and Kunat, they have chieftaincy. So once the chief of the village decides something, the whole village follow him.
Ah, okay. So if the chief become Christian,
yes,
all the village follow him.
Yes. That's how in some places Christianity grew very fast.
We left Kohima several days ago. We're exhausted. But the village of Tong Nuk Nyu is our destination, and it's still a long way off.
Yes, we're nearly there.
A few hours more.
Few hours more. It's been a tough journey,
Yeah.
but we're going to be there. We dress up like warrior.
Coming to the door. Oh.
Good camera. Thank you, Kadu. Thank you, Radu.
Strident cries announce the presence of the Kamnungan. Vizier answers them. 12 years later, Vizier finally rejoins the Kimnungan, the tribe of the great sources. This solemn procession to the village is really taking us into another world. All the fatigue and tension of those never-ending days walking across the mountains now vanishes, replaced by strong emotions and happiness for Vizier, rediscovering at last this place and these people after waiting for so long. And it is an extraordinary encounter for us too. Passion, the village chief, receives us in the open courtyard where hot water drinks and eggs are presented. Together the chiefs discuss our stay and especially our safety and ways of making sure that the Burmese army does not learn of our presence too soon. The nearest Burmese battalion is only 3 days' march from here. Below the village, a Baptist church. The Kainungan have been converted for only a few years. Now the pastor holds the customary authority normally belonging to the chief. Most of the traditional religious objects have been destroyed. The ultimate witness to these beliefs is the morong, the traditional ceremonial house that contains the heads of sacrificed animals and symbols of an animist cosmogony.
During those days when the missionaries first came, they thought whatever we had been doing was wrong, against the gospel. So whatever we have been doing traditionally was considered as wrong. But now, as we look back those years, we said those not have taken place.
At dawn on the day of the great ceremony of Vizier's crowning, the entire community is bubbling with activity. As soon as we had arrived, the villagers started moving the ceremonial drum, made during the year in the heart of the forest. Now, everybody is helping to lift it up the steep slope, all the way to the village. Even the children are helping in this colossal collective of.
And they believe a lot in dreams, dream interpretation. If they dream something, something happens. And all the Christians, they still believe in that dream. That the dream is a spirituality for them.
The following morning, the chief invites Vizier to witness a mitun sacrifice in his honor. Half ox, half yak, this semi-wild buffalo lives only at high altitudes, free to roam the mountains dominating the village. Nagas capture them only when one of them has to be sacrificed in a ceremony. In a solemn speech, the chief asks the animal to forgive him and dedicates the sacrifice to the tribe's protecting spirits and to the guests. He makes an offering, some rice-based alcohol and a banana leaf dedicated to the animal's spirit. Then the mitun is killed, a spear through the heart. Later, its head will be attached to the front of the ceremonial house. In this way, his spirit can remain in the cranium, to find refuge there and to watch over the village. Naga cosmogony postulates a goddess, mistress of the universe and of all things. In fact, this belief encompasses the universal soul, the one made up of all the souls and spirits of beings and things of creation. In every family, including that of the war chief in whose house we have been welcomed for our stay here, as he guarantees our protection, they are preparing, they're arranging their costumes and accessories. Costumes and all their accessories play an important part in Naga culture. Each tribe has its own unique motif, embroidered on shawls, necklaces, and headpieces worn by the men. Red squares and blue borders belong to the Kiamnungan tribe. Traditional pieces are increasingly rare. They were largely stolen by the Burmese army or destroyed in fires set by enemy factions or Burmese soldiers who regularly ravaged villages on the border.
Our village is very poor village. All ornaments were burned down by Maiwan is a group.
Yeah.
政治話這種啊，變家提完變農，包括政治農地基路昂扎些。
Our forefathers' ornaments, we have no more now because they have burned down all these things.
嘅感情睇他啊，做得夢亮。
You come to my house and take a rest. I feel very happy.
Besides the looting by armed groups, the Baptist Church, from its arrival among the tribes, had the traditional religious objects, like the great ceremonial drum, destroyed. Inside the chapel, Vizier tries to convince the villagers that the old traditions of their fathers provided a way of cementing their identity, that they must not systematically destroy them, and that they were not necessarily in conflict with the Christian message brought by the brother Nagas from the other side of the mountain. It's reported to us that the great drum is not far from the village now. Everybody joins in to push it, pull it, hoist it, using a whole network of strong vines. For hours, a tide of humanity lifts this giant of the forest, inch by inch. The ceremony of Liamke is held today. This morning, the women of the tribe made us a substantial breakfast, because this will be a long day. Now the great drum is at the entrance to the village. At the earthen path, the crowd redoubles its energy and enthusiasm. And at last the drum arrives, is set up on the ceremonial spot in front of the Morong.
Well, this is called Pen in Kemungan, and it's very important cultural symbolic for them. In ancient time, when they kill the enemies, they bring the head and put inside the drum and they beat. During the lunar eclipse, they believe that the tiger has eaten the moon, so they beat the drum to revive the moon. So this has many purposes, but unfortunately for some time, the missionaries thought it was evil because they put the head inside and it was destroyed. But now I tell them that we may not necessarily do that, but we can use it for a good purpose. We can keep it for our culture, for the preservation of our culture, promotion of our culture. We can keep it. And that's why this Liamke that we are having is very important. It is very important.
The young people are very interested in photographs of Vizier's first expedition 12 years earlier to the land of the great river sources. It appears that, like most tribal ethnic groups, Naga society was based on a matrilineal model. The patriarchal authority that reigns today in Naga society no doubt arrived more recently with the development of warrior structures. In front of the Morong, the warriors are positioning themselves on two long raised planks all around the sacred drum. Throughout the valley, the dull rhythm of the newly made drum is communicating with the spirits, announcing the investiture of Vizier Sanu and the alliance between the people of the great sources and the people of Angami Naga, Vizier's people. Several girls bring packages, apparently gifts. Each has her face painted, representing ritual symbols of the people of the great sources. War chiefs and subordinates pay homage to their guests, to Vizier and Shapwan. Before the fixed gaze of the Mitun, Vizier is presented the traditional shawl of the Kiamnungen. The head cutter is presented to him. Then the chief crowns him with ritual headpiece.
Dangur kam kura karne ami bisi khushi paise.
Chi ashung chi sin devta anyam ji mongleng ji.
Aro ami aja hatu ekdom dangur ase.
Abalo yap chi sin ne ashung ding chi jak noi.
Gane ami nimok Muslim banu nishna nimok anise dia take dibole.
Nong devta loni aba jam nong si give ji.
Aro abane kan aje pen tandi kene aro bisi kam kora karne 10,000 abuna khan ke diya ase Indian laga taka.
Amaloni pen jani nong devta India danga ne haja se give ji.
Jo abune khan itu lo kene kiba guru bolage.
Nongo amo deshi anoi nong si lo anoi.
Then I, in turn, was presented the head cutter and the shawl.
Oh, thank you.
And then it was Ken's turn. Then Shapwan's. Then the entire assembly begins to pray aloud. The Nokpao ritual chiefs and the priests call upon the spirits of both clans to unite, guarantee harmony, peace and prosperity for the two tribes, and keep them from war, famine, and sickness. The pastor joins them in an intense prayer. The girls and women of the village bring all the food that they have been preparing for 2 days in honor of this occasion. This great occasion, because the Naga of this region are very poor and usually eat only spiced rice and a bit of salt. Eating meat is a rare experience. A dozen young maidens, each carrying a calabash of hot tea, form a line, and we all drink to a ceremony symbolizing the power of a social bond. This social link is symbolized by the unbroken path of the T, reaching from the rushing water of the mountain, coming all the way down to Vizier, calabash after calabash, one virgin after another. Vizier feigns being drunk, which was always done at the earlier time when one was given a very strong drink. Now the Baptist Church has forbidden this and replaced it with hot tea. The warriors take their places around Vizier for a series of dances in front of the ceremonial house and the great sacred drum. Liamke means pact of peace. On these high ritualistic occasions, the chiefs avow that war between their two peoples is taboo. They agree together to resist any outside aggression.
About 12 years ago, maybe, there were a few Christians, but the chiefs were very powerful. They had a lot of traditions, and in 12 years now, a lot of the old traditions have gone.
Yeah.
The houses have changed. You see a big church building, and many things have changed. But what I'm most happy today is that they brought back this important drum back.
Yeah.
Because of this Liamke and because I'm here. So this drum will now stay forever.
Between dances, the warriors proudly show us their tattoos. Only headhunters are honored with these ritual tattoos. The complexity of their design is determined by the quality of the hunter. This old man has many heads to his credit. In these remote regions of Burma, headhunting was practiced right up to the end of the 80s, and warrior raids were still frequent between tribal enemies. The dances go on, long after the sun has set behind the mountains and far into the night. Even the return of the rain after a brief respite doesn't dampen the proceedings.
Yeah, it's in the morning.
Time is pressing.
Yes,
We have to leave this very morning. Our forbidden Burmese incursion is coming to an end. The danger that the Burmese army may have got wind of our presence grows with each passing hour, and finally it's just too dangerous for our hosts and for us as well. The villagers fear the Myanmar soldiers, the Burmese soldiers. On a regular basis, battalions of the Burmese army come here and sow terror and desolation. They steal anything that comes to hand. They take young Nagas as porters and have no hesitation in beating them and even killing them at the slightest sign of weakness. They often abduct girls, and leaving, they burn down the grain storage structures, and behind them lies a broken village and death. As tradition would have it, several villagers accompany us along the path to the village gate. We will set off again across the mountains, but by a route different from the way we came, hoping to avoid the soldiers, or a faction that is an enemy of Chapuan's NNC. One last look back at our Kiamnungan friends, and the mountains again swallow us up. Attaining the summit of Mount Patkai, there where a border divides the land of the Naga in two, Vizier turns one last time toward the territory of the people of the great sources.
Người bê sa nhờ đi hơn nhờ gió tiêu cả vợ cho cả vì
Nestled in the mountains, Kohima, capital of the Indian portion of Nagaland, is a big, sick village that grew too large too quickly.
Political situation in Nagaland, that is the different factions fighting against each other, the fratricide. I said we cannot move forward anywhere unless we stop this. A taxi driver told us that he's charging more money from us because he has to pay tax to 3 different factions. If you continue like this, we have no future.
Kohima is a town full of every sort of tension. Anonymous rebels rub shoulders with soldiers and members of the Indian Secret Service. At nightfall, the relative calm of the streets is often shattered by shots fired at an official or some supposed leader of some supposed rebel movement.
Naga society, they have been struggling, fighting for their sovereignty for more than 5 decades. Many precious life lost and many property, wealth destroyed. In today's position, we're grateful to God because there is ceasefire between government of India and the Naga militant groups, and with that ceasefire, there is relatively more peaceful today. Because without peace, we cannot develop our economy. Nobody wants to come and invest their money here. Tourists are afraid to come here. Nagas, we are very rich in culture, in tradition, and we are unique. And the world over wants to come and see us. But it is restricted. Plus, it is a trouble area. So people are not allowed. Those who are allowed also are hesitant to come.
Even today, agriculture is Nagaland's only economic activity. Industry is non-existent. Commercial and service enterprises are almost all run by Indians. So the young people try to forget their desperate condition in rare distractions that the country provides. As here, the Naga National Wrestling Competition. An essential element of Naga culture, wrestling is fervently practiced in most tribes. It's appropriate that it be considered the national sport. But these festive events painfully hide the disillusionment of a youth with a blank horizon, drawn between the political tensions of Nagaland and a hope for power and one day participating in its economic development. The association Mothers of Nagaland is very influential socially as well as politically. It set up the Center for AIDS Sufferers.
We started only in 2001.
In 2001.
Yeah. This is a project of the Naga Mothers Association.
We're making this for antibiotic.
Antibiotic.
Yes. Say garlic is there, yam, garlic, yam, and then fencing, fencing leaf.
The HIV situation here is a bit unique because most of the infection is through intravenous drug use, sharing of needles and syringes among drug users. And drug is a very serious problem here. I don't know if you are aware, but we have the Golden Triangle, which is just next door.
Yeah.
And Golden Triangle is still one of the world's biggest production of heroin. So drug is a very severe problem. Drug use among young people is unfortunately not decreasing. It is still on the increase. Many factors are responsible for the increase of drugs. One definitely is the conflict that we are in.
Yeah.
You know, we are all the product of conflict, political conflict, internal conflict. But the prolonged Indo-Naga conflict has added a lot to this. On top of that, we have, as you know, we have a problem with our economic disparity. There's no employment, there's no industry. We have militarization. Everything is completely militarized.
A few rare initiatives, often private, are trying to create an embryo for solving the problem of unemployment. A system of microcredit has been established, allowing small operators to start up little businesses that may not show a profit at first. Many women, especially widows, are benefiting from this today.
We launched this group in order to help young people learn how to do business. This is necessary because, as you see all over Nagaland, if we are to look at all over Nagaland per se, I would think that 90 to 95% of the economic activities are managed and owned and controlled by non-Nagas. This is a serious threat to the survival of our people. And also this can lead to future social conflicts, as you have seen in other parts of Northeast India. This, we wouldn't like that to happen in Nagaland. So this shop is now a little over 3 years old.
Yeah.
When they started out 3 years ago, there were days when they couldn't even make one single sale. But today, they're quite satisfied with the sales they have.
Yeah.
This is a colony shop. They pay some small house rent, but they get enough livelihood.
Nyechuti takes us to his village, Tetsumi, in the heart of Chakisang country, a tribe reputed in Nagaland for its cultural dynamism and the excellence of its singing and dancing.
The heads of enemies taken, during war. Each two skulls are supposed to represent one human head.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, the enemies were killed.
Nagami shole hino ye kadya tro jise mi puni ke be mi ko tro mi je nagami shole jo ye hit nhatsu ke temi ko tro ndemi de tro ne ga moi ndemi de ji je chi de ga mi ko tro shole tsuze zumi ko tro mi je jam tsunu ro chi jo mi zumi ko tro mi je lu mi je ga di tamoi nagami ka tsi nagami ke di mo ja je le zo ko va tsa me mu ko va tsa lu zakili shi no shi ke se ga tsa shi no shi le zo Бегаться ще на себе.
Motivated by Nechute, an association for safeguarding and promoting the cultural heritage of the Chakisang was established in the village of Tetsumi. Trained by the older people, about 40 youths are carefully learning the rhythmic and energetic songs and dances that have made the reputation of these people. Vizier rejoins his Konuma family for one last time before leaving for his adopted country, Australia. Pesha